And on pole position for the second Grand Prix of the GPM1 season, it is round one winner Charles Rainford. He lines up on pole position just ahead of Lando Norris for Nexus Racing, able to split the two West Sussex racing cars, which were oh so dominant in the season opener. And Colin Turkington was the pole sitter in that race, drops down to third on the grid for this one. Andrea Kimi Antonelli, the GPM2 race winner, lines up in fourth position. Fifth spot goes to George Russell, the second of the Nexus racing cars. In sixth position on the grid, it is the Trackhouse racing driver of Charles Leclerc, just ahead of his former real-life teammate Carlos Sainz for Fast Formula Racing in the seventh position. Eighth spot goes to Yuki Tsunoda, a very impressive start to his season in Australia, trying to back that up here today with more points on the board. Ninth spot goes to Sergio Perez in the Brawn GP, just missed out on points in that first round of the season. Another driver that just missed out is Oscar Piastri. He lines up in the 10th position for Panfera Autosport. Lewis Hamilton in 11th position there in the second of the Brawn GP cars. Alex Palou, one of our stars from the GPM2 race. He was the driver that finished second in that one. He lines up 12th in this race. Nico Hülkenberg just behind him. Then we see the Fingal Motorsport entry of Pierre Gasly. He had a strong season opener as well. He'll be looking to try and back that up with more points here today, but it might be a struggle from 14th on the grid. Paul Aron making his GPM1 debut, just like Alex Palou there, but from the 15th position. Scott McLaughlin in a 16th spot. Pascal Wehrlein in 17th in the second of the Panfera Autosport cars. The second of the Fingal Motorsport cars lines up in the 18th position, and bringing up the rear of the field, it is the Repsol Peugeot of Carson Hocevar, 19th and last on the grid. Can he make some moves forward? We'll have to wait and see, as we are just moments away now from the lights going out in the second round of the season. The lights are coming on as the revs rise. We are racing and we're underway for the Japanese Grand Prix. It's a strong start from Charles Rainford, who is going to lead us into turn number one. Turkington immediately looking to attack Lando Norris into the first corner, and he will make it a WSR 1-2 in this one. George Russell also gaining a position. He gets up ahead of Antonelli to make it a Nexus Racing 3-4. Antonelli has lost a couple of positions there. He's fallen behind Leclerc as well. Carlos Sainz losing spots. Perez on the move here. Perez just fending off from that position. Tsunoda in 9th, trying to now take advantage of Carlos Sainz whilst he seemingly is on the back foot. Sainz going to send it around the outside of this first slower speed hairpin now. He's going to hold on to that one for now. Hamilton up into the top 10 there to make it both Brawn GP cars in the top 10 positions. Hulkenberg slips back in to 11th. Palou in 14th. He's not had the best of starts. Gasly hasn't gone very many places forward either. Hocevar up a couple of spots there ahead of Kyle Kirkwood and Pascal Wehrlein as we head up into the big hairpin now, down steeply downhill as they come out of here. Perez 7th, just ahead of Tsunoda, just holding on to that position for now as the field flows through. It's mostly single filed out now. McLaughlin down in 16th spot. As we look further up the field, it is Charles Rainford that leads the way though on this opening lap, and we have had a couple of cars come into the pit lane at the end of this opening lap, and that's why Pascal Wehrlein into the back of Kyle Kirkwood. Big damage probably to both of those two cars there, and that will cause them to both have to come into the pit lane here. Sergio Perez in 7th spot, got Tsunoda right on his tail as they head into turn number one. Tsunoda with the inside line. Can he get that move done? He can indeed. The Peugeot making a strong move there with its customer Nexus Racing power unit in the back of it. He makes the move up a position. Palou, meanwhile, battling it out for 15th position at the moment. This group of drivers have dropped back from leaders, all likely due to damage. McLaughlin through on Palou. Kirkwood trying to follow him through, and will do just that. Palou dropping back now into 17th position as this battle has detached themselves really from the rest of the field. Kirkwood right on the tail of McLaughlin, having a little look, not quite able to make the move happen there. Two drivers that in real life race in the IndyCar series battling out. They're free, in fact, because Palou just in that battle as well. Sergio Perez with a little bit of train forming behind him. Sainz on his tail at the moment as they head under the bridge and into the long final couple of corners. Perez just maintaining his position for now. Hulkenberg and Sainz, both Fast Formula Racing cars, just in the top 10 at the moment in a Brawn GP sandwich here. Perez and Hamilton either side of that pair as they head down the start-finish straight. Is there going to be a challenge for this 8th position? Sainz looks as though he's setting something up here as they head into turn number 1. He's going to have the inside line. Can he brake late enough to keep that fast one with the racing car alongside? A little bit of contact between the two drivers. Perez goes a little wide, and that will open the door for Carlos Sainz to move up into the 8th position there. Perez down into 9th, still looking to try and hold on to Brawn GP's first points finish of the season here, but it's getting tight at the front here as lap traffic in the form of Pascal Wehrlein, who we saw pick up damage early in this race now, is causing this lead group to bunch up a tremendous amount. George Russell going to take advantage there. Norris squeezed into a very tricky spot indeed. That's going to allow George Russell to move ahead of his teammate and up into 3rd position. Can he do more than his teammate could to challenge these leading duo of WSR cars? Russell up into 3rd place. The top two absolutely nose tail at the moment. These two could be the ones that end up fighting for the championship based on what we've seen so far. But these tracks do seemingly suit that car, so maybe when we see some other venues, we could see something a little different as Russell's going to have a look here and try and break up this West Sussex Racing 1-2, and he's going to be able to do it. Down the inside of the hairpin, gets the exit he needs, and George Russell is going to split up the two teammates at the front of the field. And wow, for the first time this season, it isn't a West Sussex Racing 1-2. George Russell moves into 2nd position for Nexus Racing. As further back in the pack, we've got Piastri lapping his teammate Wehrlein, who's probably still carrying some damage from the early stages of this one. Aaron moves up into 12th spot. Not a point scoring position for the Leighton House driver, but it's going to be a fight nonetheless. Piastri squeezes his way back through as we see Pantera Autosport yet to score a point in the season as well in the GPM1 class, and as things stand, they're not going to score any points today. Not a fortunate race, it has to be said, especially for Pascal Wehrlein. Now, there's a bit more lap traffic. Hocevar this time could be causing some issues as they head down the main straight. Perez vulnerable to Hulkenberg. Hamilton in this battle as well, trying to find a way through. Hulkenberg up into 9th position. Hamilton to the inside of his teammate. Can he complete the pass? Perez going to try and hold on. Hamilton not quite able to get alongside. Perez will stay in position number 10 and is still currently the top Brawn GP car as they look to score their first point of the year. Piastri now next up to try and get his way through on Carson Hocevar there. Paul Aron is going to be the one that takes advantage this time, as well as Pierre Gasly in this battle. All of these not in the top 10, but they're not racing like it. Aron into 12th position there. A bit of contact actually there, it seems, between Piastri and Aron as they come through turn number 1, and a strong move from the Estonian driver. It's not going to be points by the looks of things on this final lap, but nonetheless a very impressive drive in his GPM1 debut, as now Gasly has a little bit of a look at a move on Piastri. Not quite able to make anything happen though, as up at the front of the field, Charles Rainford, the winner in Australia, still leads the way on the final lap of this one. He is on course to go back-to-back to start the season, but George Russell has not made it easy for him. He has had some outstanding pace, but he just hasn't quite been able to find a way past him as they head through the final corner for the final time. It's going to be back-to-back race wins to start the season. Charles Rainford wins the Japanese Grand Prix, and it's a maximum score from the first 2 rounds of the season for the British driver. George Russell in 2nd spot. Colin Turkington will come home in 3rd, so it's still a double podium for the team currently atop the championship standings. So, it seems they can at least be kept up with. The West Sussex Racing drivers aren't able to dominate like they were in Australia, and in fact one of them was beaten. George Russell gets up in between them there. Rainford only able to win by a few tenths of a second this time. Norris making it a double top 4 finish for Nexus. Looks as though they may well have something to challenge WSR with. Leclerc in 5th, Antonelli gets his first points in 6th, Sonoda back-to-back points finishes for him in 7th spot. Same goes for Carlos Sainz. Nico Hulkenberg in 9th spot. Sergio Perez will take his and Brawn GP's first point of the season. Hamilton just missing out there. Paul Aron with an impressive debut drive there in 12th position. Piastri continuing to look for that first points finish. Pierre Gasly only 14th here today. McLaughlin 15th. Kirkwood in 16th position. Pillow and the cars behind him all a lap down there after early race dramas for them. Not what they would have wanted from this one, but still experience nonetheless that they can take forward into the next one. Next time out, we are racing in Canada at the Rocky Mountain Raceway. A street circuit. Should be a very different style of racing indeed to what we saw today, but who knows what might be the outcome. Can West Sussex Racing and Charles Rainford continue to dominate, or will a different track type suit some different drivers and their cars? Who knows, we'll have to wait and see. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, goodbye.